you doing what matters? Or you can look at it as doing too much versus doing what matters. So what I want to do today before I get into the topic is introduce myself to some of you, because I know that not everyone knows me. Not everyone knows my background or my history or what I do. So I am the owner of Mom's Guide to Travel, as well as TawanaBSmith.com. And right now I'm going live on a couple of different platforms right now because I'm kind of a tech geek. But that's not the thing that I have, that I necessarily sell. But on Mom's Guide to Travel, I've been with Mom's Guide to Travel for, I want to say, since 2009, I think is when I started Mom's Guide to Travel. And that was a site that I created in order to give families encouragement traveling with the kids, moms encouragement traveling with their kids. So essentially, I started out writing immediately for other publications about family travel. And then as I got older and matured and evolved, I decided to use travel for my own self-care. And then I started offering opportunities for women to travel with me for personal retreats, because I saw self-care as a form of travel as a form of really intense self-care. So that site helped me to then launch TawanaBSmith.com, where I coach women, high achieving women, entrepreneurs, caregivers who are also maintaining a business and they need to maintain their self-care at the same time. So that was spurred on by the simple fact that I'm a mom of a child with special needs who also had leukemia. Thank God he's in remission, as well as a husband who had cancer. So because of all of those circumstances, I needed to know and understand how to use self-care in order to stay sane and in order to stay productive and do all of the things that I wanted to do for myself and I wanted to do for my family. So this is a good topic, doing too much or doing what matters, because raise your hand if that's you sometimes. That is totally me. And it came up, it was inspired because I had an appointment with my therapist a couple of weeks ago, and my therapist was like, okay, there's something off about you. And let me start this off with saying to you that when you are doing too much and it's not anything that really matters, it's not good for your self-care. It really is not good for your mental self-care. And so you have to take a step back and decide, well, what is going to be good for me mentally? What is going to be good for me emotionally? And if the things that I'm doing are not good for me or it's too much, then I need to stop doing either all of them or some of them. So getting back to my therapist appointment, she said to me, like after about 15 minutes, she was like, your energy is different. And I didn't really know where she was getting that from. I pretty much think that I'm good at controlling my energy, whatever type of energy that I want to give off. I'm intentional about that. But she said that, it seemed like I was stressed, and I was stressed, but I didn't realize I was stressed because I had so many different things on my plate. So after talking to me for a few more minutes and me telling her all of the things that I had to do over the next couple of weeks, she, deduced, oh, okay, that's why all of this is different, right? And I was stressed. I didn't realize that I was all that stressed until she said that to me. And I don't like to use that term very much to describe myself. I might use the term overwhelmed, but she was pretty accurate when she said that to me. When she said, yeah, your energy is off. You're doing all of these things. You're stressed and you don't really realize that you're stressed. So it got me to thinking about, okay, am I doing too much, right? And of the things that I'm doing, what of those things matter? I had appointments on the book. I'm getting ready to travel to the Dominican Republic for a missions trip. I've got my husband's stuff going on. I've got all of the kids' stuff going on. I've got programs that I'm launching. I'm in programs. And so it made me have to take a step back and say, okay, Tawana, what are you doing that actually matters right now? if you're like me and you are excited about a lot of things and you're a creative, you understand what I'm talking about, because creative people, people that are entrepreneurs, people that like to create things, people that like to build things, we sometimes have the tendency, high achievers too, right? I'm talking to you. We sometimes have the tendency to say, well, I want to do all the things, right? And we just can't do all the things. That's a fact of the matter. We just can't do all the things. And when we do too much at one time, all it is another form of multitasking, right? We might not be doing multiple projects all at once, but maybe we've got all of these things on our mind, in our mind, but we're not like checking them off the list. Right? So you have that feeling where it's like almost this bit of overwhelm because you've got all of these things in the back of your head, all these things that you need to take care of. And science has already proven this, that multitasking is not good for our brains. It creates stress. It creates, sleepless nights. It creates feelings of overwhelm. And we tend not to be as productive or do things the way we're supposed to do things, right? When you've got too many things going on, what happens is you either don't do any of them, or you don't do it with excellence. You don't do it well. You forget about things. Hello, I was forgetting appointments and all sorts of things, right? Or you just feel overwhelmed in general. And so that is when you have to make a decision. I have to make a decision and ask yourself, what is important to me right now? What is going to help move me towards my goal or my accomplishments? And sometimes when we also do a lot of these different things and we say, well, I don't want to take such and such on my plate, such and such off my plate because this person or that person is going to look at me a certain way or judge me. Let me tell you something. You cannot worry about what people are going to say about you. You just can't, because people are judgy. People are going to judge you whether you got it going on or whether you don't have it going on. They're going to judge you if, you are successful or you're not successful. Your job is to focus on the people that are important to you and the things that are important to you. If they're not paying your bills, and they're not in your household, or they're not, close to you, or they're not someone that really matters, then what they think or their judgment does not matter. So you've got to take that and understand that whatever you choose to do does not have any relevance to the judgment of other people. So don't even take that on yourself where it's going to cause you to be overwhelmed, right? You don't take care of yourself by constantly trying to appease people that do not matter in your life, or constantly telling people yes when you should be telling them no. That is a clear line to you messing with your mental and emotional self-care. Okay. So here are 3 tips that I want to leave you with in terms of figuring out whether you're doing too much versus doing what matters. These are some tips. These are some strategies that you can, use for yourself. The first thing is to use planners, right? Planners and to-do lists. To-do lists. I love to-do lists. They are my friend. I have to-do lists all over the place. And it really is. This is what my to-do list looks like. I know it's like white paper right now, but what I like to do is just it's almost like a brain dump. That to-do list, just brain dump all of the things that I have going on, all of the big projects, the little projects, everything, and just get it out of my head. I'm sorry, I use my hands a lot, guys, when I'm passionate about something. But get it out of your head, what it is that you have to do. What is it that, you've got going on that's perplexing you, that's stressing you, that's, got you up at night, that has you worried, that has you overwhelmed? What are some of the things that you've forgotten? Write it down on that to-do list. And then what you're going to do is take that to-do list, and then you are going to prioritize things, right? Some people are not list fans and some people are list fans. Some people like planners and some people don't like planners. But I am going to speak to those of you who like lists and who like planners, especially my mom entrepreneurs, my high achievers, because you understand that planners are another best friend of yours. Okay, I'm trying to show you white paper on the screen and that's not going to work. But anyway, take things from your to-do list and then go and put it on your planner, prioritizing, the 3 most important things that you need to do today, or the 5 most important things that you need to do today or this week or this quarter, and then go from there. It's the brain dump that's really important. Taking the stuff outside of your head and putting it on a list. If you like to use an app, use an app. It's just, there's no right or wrong on how you process information. The point is that when you're feeling like you're overwhelmed, when you've got a lot of things going on, when you are forgetting things, then if you're just keeping it in your head, you already know that process doesn't work. So I'm trying to give you other options, whether it's an app, whether it is a to-do list, or whether it's a planner. We all process things, can retain things, can do things in different ways. So you do whatever works for you, right? These are just some tips or some ideas for some people who are just like, how do I manage all of this information? There's not one way, right way, and there's not one wrong way. I have seen planners where I'm just like, okay, that's just too much going on. I'm not going to do anything if I'm micromanaging this information in this particular way. So sometimes the list works well for me. Sometimes particular planners work for me. Everyone has a different style of processing their information. So this is the second point, the second tip for you. Have someone in your life to hold you accountable, right? So that means whether you have accountability partners, people that you get on the phone with once a week, and you have your call, and there's specific ways in which you manage accountability calls and you check in with one another. I do that with some women. 4 women, we get on the phone every week and we have our accountability calls, and we hold each other accountable to the things that we said we're going to do to move us towards the things that we want. Your spouse or your partner can help hold you accountable, right? It's got to be someone that's a little bit objective, who's not going to really judge you on the things that, you are trying to do, that you say you want to do. But it could be a coach. It's just somebody to hold you accountable and say, wait a minute, last week you said you were doing A, B, C, X, Y, Z. What are you doing this week? That's not consistent with what you said before. Or did you get that thing done from last week that you said you were going to do, because this week now you're telling me something new? This is why we need people to hold us accountable to the things that we say we're going to do. Maybe it doesn't have to do with business. Maybe it is in your personal life, and you have a therapist, and the therapist is going to say to you, wait a minute, in our last session you said you were going to do this, but now you're telling me you're going to do that. My therapist totally holds me accountable. And it is a love-hate relationship, just like when you have a trainer and your trainer is helping you get towards a certain physical goal. You hate your trainer, but then you love your trainer at the end of the day because they have helped you achieve the thing that you said you wanted to achieve. Number 3, this is real simple. This is all you. You need to meditate about your purpose and your big goals, right? Sit yourself on the floor or on a pillow or on a couch. Turn off all the noise. If you need to turn off the lights and put on some noise canceling headphones with nothing else going on, do that. Close your eyes and then just think, what is my goal? What am I trying to do right now? Like, what am I working towards? And then allow God, the universe, whoever you want to call out to help you get into the place where you can find the answers. But you do need to sit still. Stillness is your friend. Turning off the noise and focusing on the things that are most important to you is your friend. You've got to do that periodically. It's great if you can do it once a day. If you can't, then try and do it at least once a week, but work your way towards that. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It is really important for you to sit down and focus on what are the things that are important. What are the things that are helping me with my purpose? What is my purpose? You've got to kind of go through that work and answer those questions for yourself so that you lead yourself to a place of focusing on the things that matter versus the things that are just too much. I'm telling you guys this from experience. I'm telling you this from a place of a person who is a caregiver, who does have a lot of different personal things going on, but who also has, her own goals and striving and purpose in life, and knowing how to balance and manage those things does take some intention, and it takes discipline, and it really does take quite a bit of self-care to get me to that place where I can, do it. It just doesn't happen from, it just doesn't happen that way. So I wanted to keep this short and sweet, and come here to provide you with some tips on doing too much versus doing what matters, and figuring out how you get to the place to make sure that you are doing what matters and not overwhelming yourself with doing too much. I always love to hear your feedback. I love to hear your comments. So please do leave me a comment, send me a direct message. For those of you who want to take a deeper dive, this is just one of the many things that you need to do with your own personal self-care. When it comes to managing your thoughts and being able to be successful in your life and in your business. This is just one little snippet. For those of you who want to take a deeper dive into designing healthy self-care habits and a strong discipline for yourself, for your self-care that's going to support you in your life and support you in your business, then guess what? You are officially invited, my friend, to join my Self-Care Success Suite. And the way that you do that, you can take whatever adventure you want to take in this suite. Go to bit.ly/self-care for high achievers. bit.ly/self-care for high achievers. And on that page, you will see 3 different journeys, right? 3 different journeys for you. You want to go the light journey, you'll see something for that. You want to take a deep dive, you'll see something for that. Whichever way you go some way. Take care of yourself. Focus on doing the things that matter versus doing the things that don't matter and doing too much, because it does not serve anyone when you don't get anything done. All right, everyone. Keep sharing your brilliance. I can't even speak right now. Brilliance with the world, and I will see you next time. Have a good day. Bye.